Welcome YouTube. I have got another powerful lesson. I am constantly working with clients on how to continue to increase their income, increase their business. It's always a misunderstanding of what money is. And I can relate to that because I used to not understand the laws of money. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly within a millisecond while others struggle no matter how hard they work, it all comes down to mindset. You know what's interesting? People think mindset and they don't even know what that means. Mindset is creating 95% of our results, and mindset is literally how we see the world. And today I'm going to break down the differences between the broke mindset and the wealth mindset that are either keeping you stuck where you are or propelling you towards creating a life of freedom, having financial freedom so you can create great impact. Now, you are literally one decision away from the life you want to live. Now, does that sound like a hyperbole? I know if I took myself back 20 years ago, one decision's really going to change my life. Well, I could tell you one decision changed my life, and that was the decision that no more settling, that I was going to create a life of freedom, and I was really going to ascend my financial life. And if I can do it, you can absolutely do it. But we've got to understand the difference between a broke mindset and a wealth mindset. They operate on two different ends of the spectrum. Now, the first thing you have to understand, no one is going to create greater wealth if they don't really want it badly enough. You have to have a purpose for it, and you have to have that inspiration that I'm going to figure out the combination on how to create wealth and cultivate it as part of my life. You know, I don't remember what forum I was in, but I was looking back at my life. What got me into this philosophy was I was so stuck being stuck. Maybe some of you can relate to that. Like right now, do you feel stuck? That's where I was. And I started getting into personal development work. I always say the first book I read was Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer. And then I started going deeper and deeper into this. I remember Vic Johnson was his name. I got this email from Vic Johnson that says, if you pay me $4.95, I'll send you a copy of Think and Grow Rich. I didn't know anything about Think and Grow Rich, so you can kind of get where I was 20 years ago, where my mindset was. Well, I got it and I couldn't put the book down, but what I realized, what really changed my life, there was a lot of things, but the first thing was, over the last 20 years, I could tell you that first book got me so enthralled with understanding this philosophy. And I've never stopped, even though I came to really create a better life for me and my family. What really happened is I built a whole new character. I built a whole new foundation from the inside out. And that's what I want to show you how to do today. Now, when we talk about money, the first thing I want to ask you is what comes up when I ask you this question? What is your relationship with money? Is it easy to earn? Is it hard to earn? Do you expect a lot to flow into your life? And I mean emotionally. Right when I say this, a belief comes up. That's going to tell you right away if you're in a scarcity mindset or you're an abundant mindset. Now, today, I want to build a new model. Now, before I even get started, if we're going to change your relationship to money, you have to understand this law. Everything around money works off of the law of compensation. We cannot build a new model if we're not working in harmony with the law. So right away, what does the law of compensation state? And you got to read Emerson's essay on the law of compensation. I've read it thousands of times, but the law of compensation states that you get paid in direct proportion to the service you render, the need for that service in the marketplace, and our ability to do it. The most important part of this law is the ability to do it. Now, everybody understands this law that you reap what you sow. Well, that's the law of compensation. What you give, you get. But we've got to focus on our ability to do it. I want you to put in your mind, what is your income goal? How much would you really like to earn? And then I want you to right away connect it to service. I want you to connect it to service. So let me show you this. Let's say right now you're earning $10,000 a month, and you want to go from 10K to 100K a month. Now, the first thing I will tell you to do right away is look at the good things you're doing that have gotten you to 10K, what your best activities are. Now raise the image of, for me to 10X that, what areas can I serve better? Is it possible that right now you are to earn the 10,000, you go through 100 leads to earn your 10,000. Let's say it takes 100 leads for you to make 10 sales of $1,000. So what if I said, just to double your income, you just double your leads? And you focus all your energy on ideas on how to double your leads. Now we're creating a new money model. We're creating a prosperity consciousness. Now, what we have to understand is wealth is a spiritual idea. You have to jump frequencies. Now, if you look at this, going from 10K to 100K. Now I'll show you this real quick. These are lines of frequency right here. Right now, for the person who's on the 10K frequency a month, how do we jump to the 100K frequency? Now I'm going to give you the simple answer to this. You can jump levels and skip levels by one thing. Just make every decision from the person who earns 100K and stop making decisions from the person who earns 10K. Every line represents a frequency, but we don't have to go from one to the next. We jump it with our imagination. That's why I say wealth is a spiritual idea. You have to learn, if you want to get from 10K to 100K, you have to learn how to think, feel, and act and make decisions from the 100K person. Now, we only go as far as our thinking goes. The game we're playing is the game of imagination. Like if you look at entrepreneurship, they're so great about solving problems, but they're great about creating ideas from their imagination. The game is always our imagination and how we use our mind. Our imagination and how we use our mind. Now I want you to look at your financial blueprint right now, where you currently are financially. That will tell you how you're using your mind. That will tell you how you're using your imagination. Is your imagination dormant like mine was 20 years ago? Or is it constantly active, focusing on why you can do something? Is it focused on following through on the habit of doing what you say you're going to do and taking your decision to the finish line? Now, everything is a mind game. The ultimate standard that is driving our life is our quality of thinking. Now, nobody can control the outside. I wish I could tell you I could control the outside. I can never control what's happening on the outside, but I can control how I use my mind, what I plant in my imagination by what I accept and reject. Now, one idea can change the course of your life. I said you have to make a decision. I want you to make a decision today that you're going to create so much wealth in your life, so you're going to impact so many people. But when I say one idea changed the course of my life, the idea was you can create your own economy. I remember many years ago, I am struggling. I was at a job at the time. I'm in a ballroom in Scottsdale, Arizona, watching my mentor, Bob Proctor. This was before he was my mentor. and I'm sitting in the front of the room. And I always joke, if you went to school with me, I was never in the front of the room. I was always in the back. But at this point, I was really committed to changing my life. I was at a job that I didn't enjoy. I was good at, but I didn't enjoy it. Some of you may be able to relate to that. And he puts up this slide that says, you can create your own economy. I was like pondering, is this even a thing? You can create your own economy. So I kept going and I kept thinking about that idea, and I love that idea. Years later, I would tell him, I said, not only can you create your own economy, everybody is creating their own economy. Right now, you and I are creating our own economy. You may be in a job and you think your employer is creating your own economy. Nobody is. I want you to make this a part of your standard. From this moment on, you're never going to let anyone dictate your income but you. Where you train yourself to think is what you're going to receive. Anyhow, the very next slide, my mentor put down, and he says, you can turn your annual income into your monthly income. I literally was like, what in the world? Like, this was such a big idea for me at the time. Where I was earning $110,000 a year on average. I was at a job that I didn't like. Lucky for me, a few months later, I lost that job because that was what really changed the game for me. But I'm leaving that seminar. The only thing I remember from that seminar is these two slides. And I left, and I will be very transparent with you. If I would tell you that I knew I was going to turn my annual income into my monthly income, if I told you I was going to create my own economy on my terms, I would have never believed it. But what happened over the next 2 weeks really changed everything for me. I could not get that idea out of my mind. And all of a sudden, I fell in love with the idea of not only that I was going to create my economy on my terms. I was like, this is an idea that I love. I'm going to turn my annual income into my monthly income. Well, over the next few weeks, this idea just kept going, how can I do it? How can I do it? And I started playing with the idea. Well, I dumped that idea into my subconscious mind through repetition. Now, I will tell you, it was unconscious repetition, but when you fall in love with the idea uses you. Now, how many of you would love to create your own economy? And how many of you would love to turn your annual income into your monthly income? I want you to put it in the chat below. You know, on a lot of these videos, I share about how important the chat is because the research tells us people who are studying something engage in the chat, they have a 40 to 50% greater level of retention. Now, what is your attitude towards money? What is my relationship with money? I brought this in a different form when we first started this presentation for you guys. But I want you to understand attitude is creating your results, and money is an attitude. This video that you're watching is an attitude. You can pick up my attitude. So what is your relationship with money? And then the next question is, do I feel that I deserve it? Do I feel worthy of feeling comfortable with the idea of money? Because the universe is never going to give us anything unless we feel comfortable that we're going to keep it. So you have to build up your worthiness and your identity that I deserve money. Now, I know that every single one of you watching this deserves it. And I know you deserve an avalanche of abundance, but it doesn't matter what I know. I've already created this. I've created more money than I ever thought, and it's going to keep increasing because I keep working on myself. And I'm always operating in harmony with this law of compensation. I'm never satisfied with the service I render because I can always improve my service by improving myself. Well, as I improve myself, my service improves, but so does my worthiness. So the next question is, just observe yourself. Are my actions and behaviors congruent with the state of abundance? There's no in between. Your actions and behavior are either in a broke mindset or a wealth mindset. So if you just observe yourself, you're going to know it. But here's the trick. We can't know something unless we bring it to our awareness. So I want you to be aware of it, and then I want you to eliminate any actions and behaviors that are creating distractions, that are creating small thinking. Now, when you do that, you're going to raise your beliefs about money and you're going to start getting congruent with your financial goal. Now, make money your friend. Money is a relationship. I always talk about The Big Money by Napoleon Hill, where he says, money is shy and timid. It must be attracted by the person you become. He said, poverty is bold and ruthless. So we want to create a great relationship with money. Now let's look at the characteristics between an abundant mindset and a scarcity mindset. Now, first we've got to understand what causes a broke mindset, a poverty consciousness. The cause of poverty is a poverty consciousness. A poverty consciousness is how you think and feel about a certain thing. Now, and this is about money. So what you have to understand, lack and limitation is all people who are in a poverty consciousness think about. Have you ever been in a situation where somebody's always talking about the marketplace, the economy, they're talking about the price of gas, they're talking about the interest rates? Poverty consciousness, poverty consciousness, poverty consciousness. Their thoughts, feelings, and actions are the seeds that they are sowing. So they're always going to attract poverty because that's what they focus on. You cannot attract wealth when all you think about is, I don't like what I'm earning. What you think about always expands. If you're unhappy with having a lack of money, that is what you're going to continue to bring upon, and that's what you're going to continue to attract in your life. Now, a person with a wealth consciousness, a prosperity consciousness, what are they doing? They demand abundance. They know they are worthy of it, and they keep expecting more to come in. So let's ask yourself, do you demand abundance? Or are you just settling for lesser and lesser things in your life? They act on ideas right away. I want you to start acting on ideas. If you're not acting on ideas, you are in a poverty consciousness. If you are the type of person who is procrastinating, you're always going to create very little. You want to start acting on ideas right away. That's what a person with a prosperity consciousness has. They take full responsibility. The difference between a consumer mindset and a wealth mindset, the consumer mindset is always blaming their employer. They're blaming the economy for why they can't do it. They're blaming everybody, but instead they're not going inside. A person with a prosperity consciousness takes extreme ownership and understands, I'm the only problem, the only solution. If something is not going well in my income, in my business, in my economy, then I'm going to go back to the law of compensation. And I'm going to take full responsibility that I'm not communicating effectively to the marketplace. I'm not giving at a higher level. So you want to always take full responsibility because you're the only problem and the only solution you're ever going to have. I remember when my mentor taught me that was like, poof, just opened my mind. And he learned it from his mentor, Earl Nightingale. So we're just keep paying it forward, pay it forward. I want you to pay that forward to somebody today. Now you're activating the law of compensation just by doing that. And a person with a prosperity consciousness is aware, look at that word aware, so they have this knowingness, there's an unlimited supply, there's enough for everybody to go around. Do you believe that there's an unlimited supply, or are you just trying to come from a place of neediness and just thinking, oh, I've got to beg, borrow, and steal to get my part? Never do that. Always divorce yourself from the outcome. The only thing you have to do is see yourself wealthy and start building your beliefs and skill sets up. An individual with a prosperity consciousness, they loathe lack and limitation. They cannot be around people who constantly are speaking lack and limitation. They're so sensitive to people's language. Now, I will tell you this right away. Observe your language. Change is always linguistic, so you're going to know if you're speaking castles into existence or you're speaking your funeral into existence. That's a quote from David Schwartz in The Magic of Thinking Big. So if you want to know, am I in a poverty mindset or a prosperity mindset? Just look at your language. Look at your actions. Look at the type of goals you have. Your goals will tell you a lot. Your goals will tell you what you which mindset you're in. And then a person in a prosperity consciousness is always circulating money. The person in a broke mindset, they're holding the money so tightly. They're trying to cut every corner. Just remember this, being cheap is very expensive. I always tell my clients this. I say, because you invested in yourself, you just saved yourself hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in results. And the people that don't do it just cost themselves hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars in wasting their time. Now, I want to give you 6 ways to improve your relationship with money. Number 1, journal every day and just journal with this question. How can I 5x my income? How can I 10x my income? Whatever it is. And forget about judging the ideas. Just put a timer on and only think of how you can, not why you can't. That alone will create a prosperity consciousness. Read books on money philosophy. Read Think and Grow Rich. Read You Too Can Be Prosperous. Read The Science of Getting Rich. These are my favorite books around money. And read them because you're inundating it in your new program in your subconscious mind. Always keep money in your wallet. Every time, I don't care if you spend it, but keep it in your wallet or purse. Every time you see it, you're training your subconscious mind that I always have money. Give, 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 give. Law of compensation again. The more you give, the more you're going to receive. Get in the habit of giving compliments. Give advice. Give anything you can give, and you're going to get it returned. And here's a big one. Mentally, spend $10,000 a day. You're creating a prosperity consciousness. When you drive by somebody who has a nice car, say, I could pay for that. I'm not asking you to physically pay, but your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. I want you to spend $10,000 a day. And then create an affirmations. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me through expected and unexpected sources. Or say, I am prosperity. I am prosperity over and over and over and over again. I remember I was studying years ago this book, You Too Can Be Prosperous. And it said 100 times a day before you go to sleep and in the morning, just say, I am prosperity, I am prosperity, I am prosperity. So I did it because I was willing to do anything to change where I was. Well, all of a sudden, within a few days, everything I thought about was prosperous. And that's what'll happen. But don't believe me, test it for yourself. Now, when you start understanding, there's a law of how money works. Money loves speed. Make quick actions. Make quick decisions. Do everything with urgency. And when you do it, the universe is going to come, have your back, and help you get to where you want to go. Now, I will share with you, if you want to change your relationship with money, I want you to acknowledge the abundance in your life right now. Look at the good in your life right now. I want you to acknowledge all the good things. If you're on a walk, look at the flowers. The more you start acknowledging abundance, the more that it's going to come to you. Appreciate the goodness of life around you. Look for 30 days, look at everything and ask yourself, what's good in this? Well, as you do that, you're changing into a prosperity consciousness. Understand and start affirming the universe is infinitely abundant and it wants to serve me. I am infinitely abundant. I am infinitely wealthy. I am infinitely rich. Start saying this over and over and over again. And then focus all your energy on what you want, not on what's missing. Focus on abundance, not lack. Give unconditionally. You have to want to give. Giving has to be a part of your identity. It can't be, oh, I give conditionally when I can get something in return. Give all your attention on the people you're talking to. Make them the most important person. And then believe that you already have it. Before I ever created wealth, I was playing in my mental rehearsal through visualizing, using my imagination, the experience I had. I want you to imagine right now that you are financially free. How would you feel? Would you feel excited? I want you to feel excited now. Would you feel proud? I want you to feel proud now. Would you feel peace of mind? I want you to feel peace of mind. Before you're ever going to receive something, you have to do it inside first. You have to accept it inside. And feelings mixed with the mental image of you already being financially free, already having a wealth mindset, activates the fulfillment of your desire. You manifest from a place of wholeness, not lack. So anytime you go to lack comes up in your mind, I want you to say to yourself, that was the old me. And then I want you to reaffirm, I am infinitely rich. I am infinitely wealthy. I am infinitely abundant. Now, if you just do this for a few days, it's not going to work. You didn't create your program overnight. It's not going to change overnight. You've got to commit to make this a part of your being. The price is worth it. The key is not to be attached to anything. You want to really get my language here. Detach from the outcome. Divorce yourself completely from the outcome, and you watch what's going to happen. See, money is so easy to earn. Now, let's go back to this. How can I train you to make every decision to come from the 100,000 earner? You can do it if you remind yourself to do it. It may not be part of your program. You may be sitting there right now and saying, Arash, it's easy for you, but I can't do it. It's not that it's easy for me. I just followed the rules of success. The rules of success is you've got to be willing to pay the price. And I was willing to pay the price in building discipline, and you're going to have to pay that price. Is it worth it to you to create a world-class life? What if you made a decision right now with me that I am going to be intentional every day that I'm going to create a world-class life for 6 months? Every day you say that, and you get out of your comfort zone. You surround yourself with the right mentors. You get in mastermind groups of people who are already where you want to go. Would that be worth it to you? I know it was worth it to me. I always say the thing that I built from inside that got active when I was failing to succeeding, I can never stop anymore. I want to give this to the world. I want everybody to know how they can live. I want everyone to experience amazing experiences. I want everyone to stop doubting themselves and impacting themselves. Now, when you look at this law of compensation again, let's go over it because it is absolutely critical if you want to change your income. You have to do the thinking, but you have to work in harmony with this law. The law states that you get exactly what you get is in direct proportion to what you give. So what is it? The need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the need for it in the marketplace. So there's a need in the marketplace for just about anything. Like what your unique talents are, you can monetize. But in order to monetize it, we got to build the mindset. We got to create the right money framework, and we've got to master our mind. Our mind is so important because whatever we accept, it goes deep in our subconscious mind. Now, unfortunately, most people are accepting what they don't want, so they keep creating more and more of that in their life. Are you willing for 30 days to make a decision from where you want to be? Every day. Are you willing to have uncomfortable conversations? Are you willing to hold yourself accountable? Are you willing to pay the price? Because let me share with you what the rewards are going to look like. There's nothing better than emotional freedom. I want you to imagine your life where you don't have to worry about anything, you just get to do whatever you're doing. You see your life as an artist. You are so loose, you're so free, you're so calm, you're so creative. And I want you to wake up every day knowing you're going to have an amazing day. When you're emotionally free, that's exactly what happens. Now, I would love for you to comment below what has been your biggest aha. I would love for you to share with me what resonated with you the most. This is a game changer. Now, everybody who goes after money has to realize money is not really what we're going after. Money is not the goal. Money is the tool. The goal is always freedom. I want you to be free. Now, if this really resonated with you deeply, and you want to go deeper with me, just send me a message. I want to go deeper. And really, I love helping individuals who are inspirationally dissatisfied to really create a life of freedom. Freedom is your birthright. Let's create freedom together. I hope you enjoyed this. I want you to share this with somebody that it can impact today. I will see you on the next video. Hey YouTube, hope you're enjoying it. This, I guess you're gonna catch it on Monday. Hope you guys enjoy it.